When we want to make a good impression at work, tailoring our communication to our listeners and environment will serve us well. We'll look at the 3 elements of communication and how to sound more professional to boost your credibility and confidence at work. Let's get started. Striking the right tones. With tones, you want to end on a strong, lower tone to show assertiveness. Eliminate uptalk from your tonal repertoire, meaning avoid phrasing declaratives as questions. Your inflection shouldn't rise at the end of your utterance unless it's a question. Don't trail off your voice and swallow the words at the end of your utterance either. Aim to use more breath force to power up your tone, ending on a strong note. This will prevent you from running out of breath and not being able to finish your utterance with nothing but a whisper. Make each word as clear as possible by articulating. You should adopt your neutral tone here. If this means you need to slow down, then do so. If you need to polish your pronunciation, do that. Articulate. Finding the right words. When sounding professional, the fewer words, the better. This will encourage you to think before you speak and get to the point as opposed to rambling or prattling on. Be mindful of word choice. If you have the tendency to blurt out certain words, then you should be mindful of that. Remove unnecessary filler words or ticks. If you repeat words such as like, then start to dial it back if you can. Avoid using words like difficult, hard, easy, and say instead challenging or straightforward. Use fewer buts and more ands, especially when providing constructive criticism or feedback. Instead of saying sorry or my bad, you can say, I appreciate your patience and thanks for understanding. Avoid the urge to say I don't know and say I'll find out, or let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. Finally, don't use vocabulary that you don't have a good grasp on or you don't understand, and be careful not to use words in the wrong context. Animating the right gestures. So with body language, we want to adopt an open stance, meaning that you have an imaginary string pulling the top of your head, right? Your shoulders are down and relaxed. Your shoulder blades are squeezed together, chest out and tummy in. This is true for sitting as well as for standing. If you're hunched over, you'll have a harder time not only looking and feeling confidence, but also being able to voice your words clearly. Have a warm smile on your face without it being too much or none at all. And make eye contact when the speaker is speaking or when you're making your points and addressing the audience. Avoid looking down when you can. And when you gesticulate, try to pair a gesture with an important point. All right, so there we have it. 3 ways of sounding more professional in work settings in communication. We've looked at tones, verbal communication, and non-verbal communication. As you know, the 3 of these elements combined give us the ability to communicate, and we must use that to our advantage by honing all 3 of these components. I know it's a lot to think about here, but remember that communication is not just the words that we utter. It's also our tone of voice, our pacing, our body language, and our presence, and the energy that we exude. Start with one from each category or focus on one category each week. Break it down into actionable points based on your communication level and just take action. Just start. We're aiming for progress, not perfection. As you incorporate these elements into your communication, you'll notice an increase in both confidence and professionalism. All right, Explearners, that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. If you did, give it a big thumbs up if you're watching here on YouTube, or if you're listening to this as a podcast, please feel free to leave us a nice review. You can leave up to 5 stars, so I encourage you to do that if you did enjoy our podcast. I'll link below some lessons that I've made that expand on tone of voice, diaphragmatic breathing, gestures, eliminating fillers, and avoiding uptalk, which I think you might want to check out. So be sure to look for that link in the description for the blog posts and lessons on those. All right, I will see you in the next Explearning lesson where we're going to continue exploring together. Until then, keep up the awesome work, and I will see you soon.